Thanks for choosing another edition of Let's Chat and Jam. In this episode, I speak with a young brother by the name of Between. I'm telling you, folks, this brother has got skills. Check out this interview we did right now. Hey, what's going on, everybody? MC Andrew Love back on your screen one more time with another edition of Let's Chat and Jam. And in this episode, I got a special guest, a young brother by the name of Between. Why he calls himself that, only he can tell you. So without further ado, Between.
What up, what up, what up?
What is going on, Between? How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. You?
I can't complain. So what you been up to?
What I've been up to? Well, I've been working on music in my spare time, just trying to get through the days. And I don't know, I think I'm doing pretty good. I'm just working on my tunes, trying to stay consistent. And now I'm here, so I'm excited.
Yeah, working on your tunes. You got a point on that. I've checked out some of your tunes on Loom. That's right, folks. Loom.fm. That's the app that I found this brother on. And so, you know what? Somebody hit me up to him. They tagged me and said, check out Between. You're going to dig the vibes. Because they know what I say, folks. If I say I dig the vibes, then you know the song has got to be dope. Between has got a sound like I have not heard. This brother is young and he's got so much potential. He's got a sound that is original to him. I've never heard anything like it, and neither have you. So when we tap into it in a little bit, you're going to be like, damn, MC Angel Love, you did it again. You found another dope artist. Well, you know, I have a knack for that. Between, when did you know that music was your passion?
I've been around music my whole life, just kind of grown up sort of immersed in it. My parents are both musicians. Both my uncles on my dad's side are musicians. We had like a little family band when I was growing up, and I always loved it, right? When I really realized I had a passion for music is when one of my uncles on my dad's side, he introduced me to this genre of music called drum and bass. And I still remember I grew up with my grandma and mom. I was walking up the stairs to my grandma's room. I sat down on her bed. I don't know why. I think because my cat was in there. Yeah. And I like put on my headphones and like searched up like drum and bass radio on Pandora. And I put on drum and bass radio shuffle play. And there's this song called The Magic Russian Bottle by Netsky came on. And I was like, what? Like, this is nothing like I've ever heard before. And I think that's when I found sort of a newfound passion for music in general. And that's when I was like, all right, I want to make this, because I like was already playing the hand drums in the drum kit, and those were like my main instruments. I had a really good ear because I'd been growing up around it. I knew like the basics, and I could hear a song and play it back to you on a piano if you gave me 5 minutes to figure it out, because that's just how I was. But I was like, after that I was like, oh, like I gotta get on a computer and do this. So I like talked to my uncle again. He was like, yeah, like you could get this is free. And I got GarageBand on my like grandma's like old Mac computer. So that's how I started.
Wow, that's a great story, man. You've accumulated a lot. You've learned a lot in these last 4 years that you've been really honing in on what it is that you do. And from what I hear on Loom thus far, I think that you know who you are as a producer. You know who you are as an artist. You know your sound. And I hear you. And I hear the hard work and the grind. I hear some of the pain and some of the happiness. I hear it all in your music. You're like a painter, you paint, but you use sound. And you're also an engineer because you put things together from pieces. And you're like, you got pieces of this and pieces of that. How do I put it together? And so you use your hands and your ears and your imagination, and you put all these pieces together to come out with the masterpieces that you have on Loom at the moment. And so I must say, man, I appreciate you for all the things that you do for music. You're actually needed in the industry. Who do you look as one of your greatest influences?
So definitely foremost, my parents. Their styles, I think, not necessarily the genre or even the way they play the instruments, but the general mood and the general like intention is very similar to my parents when you hear my music, but it's very different. They made like hip hop and reggae back in the early 90s to early 2000s, all sorts of golden years of hip hop mixed with all sorts of reggae, from more dubby stuff to more like Bob Marley kind of roots reggae. And my parents are definitely foremost in my family and what I grew up around. Second most is the artists I listen to. So as I said earlier, Netsky, that song, The Magic Russian Bottle, I discovered, and that was a part of his first album that he came out with on Hospital Records, which is a great drum and bass label, back in 2016. And it's just called Netsky. The album's just called Netsky.
Netsky.
Yeah. And Netsky, and it's like very fast-paced drum and bass, ranging from some more like techie, like crazy stuff to some more like emotional, like heartfelt stuff.
Well, I'm going to tap in now that you mentioned.
Yeah, he has 3 albums out, or well, actually 4 now. He came out with one recently after like what was it, a 4 or 5 year wait? Oh, I waited so long for that album.
Get used to that, because I used to wait for Michael Jackson to release albums, and it took about 4 to 5 years per project.
I love MJ, but yeah, Netsky's a big one. There's this dubstep electro kind of artist named Virtual Riot, who's just this absolute funky genius. He's this German guy, and he makes like everything from like really heavy dubstep, I mean like some ear ripping stuff, to like super melodic, like bubbly stuff, but it's also like pretty hard hitting, very electronic, very just like the rhythm and the sort of contrast between elements is like what really makes his music so good. So he's another big one. And I mean, I'd have to go through my entire Spotify to find all these artists, but I'll mention a couple others. Some other big ones are that I've been listening to a lot lately is More Kismet. I discovered them recently. They're 16 years old and they make super heavy bass music, but it's also combined with some more ambient stuff, and it's just really, really mind-blowing, really, really fresh, and they're getting like some major success off of it. Millions of streams on some of the songs. I guess I'll mention those. Those are some big influences for me. 2 older ones, 1 newer one, but definitely so much more.
Well, dang, man, you mentioned some heavy hitters in the names you were dropping. And I'm definitely going to tap into these artists that you mentioned, because I'm interested in seeing what your influences sound like. So when you're not making music, what are you doing?
What am I doing? Well, I make music a lot. I do it every day for at least usually 1 to 2 hours, if not more. Sometimes I'll have days where I make music on like the weekends for like 6-7 hours, not straight, but in like maybe 2-3 sessions. But besides that, I was actually just down at the river. I've always kind of lived in the suburbs, so it's like the city pretty close by, but you can also go to the woods. I love skipping rocks. I'm pretty good at it. I play Magic the Gathering, which is like this playing card game. I don't know if anyone knows about it. Super fun.
I know about it. I just don't know how to play it.
I don't play that as much anymore, but I do love that game. I'm a big soccer player. I've been playing soccer for most of my life, and I've been playing seriously for the last couple of years, and I got pretty good at one point. I'm still decent. I have a music college in mind.
Okay, so what colleges do you have in mind as far as music colleges?
So there's this college I discovered not more than a year ago called Icon Collective, and it's this college that is built for electronic music artists.
Well, that's great, man. We need more of those.
Yeah,
a lot of the people that are making electronic music are teenagers.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. So it's really sweet because it's not like super pricey either. It's not something crazy, and all you need is a high school diploma. You don't need crazy grades or anything. You just need to pass.
One of your songs that I found on Loom is called "Quiet Breeze." Do you have a backstory about it?
It's so funny because all the songs I put like tons of effort into, and I'm like, oh, I have all this meaning behind it, and I'm going to do this production technique and this production technique, and I'm going to get the master sounding clean as hell. That one, I don't know. I sat down one afternoon, found this like vocal sample. I was like, oh, I'm just going to like slap some chords here and a little bit of an LFO there and a little bit of a drums there, and oh, what if I made those kinds of drums? That'd be cool. Oh, what if I did that? And then I had a track. I was like, oh, this is all right. I'll just randomly post it on Loom, see what happens. I didn't really realize it was actually doing really well because I just kind of ignored it and focused on the music I really cared about. I'd say like 6 months ago, I was like, wait, this is just about to be like in my top 3 songs. Like, when did it get like 4,000 plays?
One thing I like about Loom is if they like you on that platform, they'll let you know like
Oh yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
There is no waiting. Like as soon as they hear your song, because one thing I love about Loam is the algorithms. And so I could be listening to, let's say, another artist that's similar to you, and then they'll play your music on rotation because I'm listening to electronic music. And so when I hear you, I'm able to like, oh, this is dope. And so what I love about Loom is at that moment in time, I could go in and say, hey, this is dope. Here's 50 Loom notes. I'm digging the vibes.
Yeah.
That's what I love about Loom. Folks, you have the opportunity to go to loom.fm right now. You could download the app at your Android and your iPhone, and you can enjoy between, like I'm about to play this song right here, this little clip. When you go hear this song, it's called Quiet Breeze. You're going to be like, oh, crap, this is dope. Why have I been sleeping on between? That's why I'm here to wake y'all up. So once I'm going to play this, is already in progress, folks, and you're going to understand why I brought him on the show. Here it is. Already in progress, Quiet Breeze. Come on, y'all. This is Between, y'all. You know who this is. Between. Producer extraordinaire, 15-year-old whiz kid. Between. You hear how smooth that is? And it's bouncy. It's smooth and you can dance to it. And if you're a rap star or a rapper or hip hop, you can get on this and tear it up. I know you can. So hip hop rappers, make sure you tap into Between, man. He's got some stuff coming to you. Yeah. So in the meantime, folks, if you want to hear the rest of it, you know what you got to go to. You got to go to loom.fm. Or you got to go to the app either on your iPhone or your Android. See, there's no reason why you can't tap in Between. You got plenty of opportunity. 24/7, 365. Loom is live. So it doesn't matter when you want to go press play. It could be 3 a.m. and you're having a midnight snack at 3 a.m. But you got to listen to some music on Loom or tap into some Between at 3 a.m. because you'll really be glad you did when you press play. Between, tell us some of your experiences you've had since you've been producing.
I think the biggest experience I've had is there's this remix competition that happened on Loom. And guess who was the host? Neo, like the Neo, hosted a remix competition on Loom. I tried like, I think 4 different ideas and I was just like, this just isn't it. This isn't it. I took the vocal, I like put some different chords under it. I was like, this isn't it. So I like trash it. And then, 3 days before the deadline, I was like, oh, why not? I'll just sit down, give it a shot. And I made this little remix. Technically, the genre is called Tropical House. Upbeat, poppy, Caribbean vibe kind of house music. And sure enough, a couple days later, I get a notification and Neo's like, and coming in at 5th place, Between. So that was definitely an experience. I got like $500 from that. Like, no joke.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's a big deal, man, especially Neo.
Yeah, goddamn. I was like, what the hell?
The man has won 3 Grammys, man.
Yeah.
He's had plenty of platinum hits. So if he picked you at number 5, that man knows skill when he sees it and when he hears it.
And shout out my boy Key Lime, who got, I think, 2nd or 3rd place.
Well, shout out to Key Lime for getting 2nd place. Do you have any advice to any kids your age? Because I know there's a lot of them that make electronic music, but just don't know how to get started or where to go. What would you tell them? Stop
trying to copy Marshmello and Alan Walker. I definitely see like a lot of people are my age. Oh, I want to be like Marshmello. I want to be like Alan Walker. And I'm like, no, you want to be like you. Trust me. You don't want to be no one else. And I totally get like aspiring for that. A lot of people are like, now that I got a track, I'm going to submit it to a label and this and that. And it ends up being that like even the people that like the slim amount of people who do get in there, who are making generic music for generic labels, it just doesn't end up working out for them. So I think my biggest advice is just really try to be you, find a sound that's unique, mash genres together, do everything you're not supposed to do within reason and safety. Just have fun, and you'll find your place, and keep pushing and try different marketing tactics to get your music out there. And just don't be afraid. I mean, everyone's got something to offer this world. You just got to find it,
Makes a lot of sense, man. So do you have any burning desires?
Burning desire is to end racism and sexism and classism and all of that. Just all of the isms, all of the things that are just tearing people and cities and homes and everything on Earth and in the entire galaxy apart. And secondly, very important to me, I am burning to just get a fan base and start getting my music out to some bigger labels and collaborating with bigger artists and getting my name out there and get some more recognition and stuff like that, which will happen in time. And I'm going to push for it. And it's going to happen. I'm itching to get my music out there to the labels and to the other artists and start collaborating, building connections, and start finding ways to make money off of my music.
You have that drive and that motivation, and you have that talent and the tenacity, and also you have the intangibles, which is consistency and persistence. Those are the two things that you possess that you can use to catapult yourself to be successful within the industry.
And I think I just want to say one more thing is also that there are some weeks where I just get hella discouraged and I get nothing done. Everything goes wrong. I do everything wrong. My life goes completely upside down. And then I wake up one day and I'm like, all right, this has got to stop. And I'm going to turn it back around. And I do. I just want to put it out there that it's okay for that to happen. And it's not the end of the world. And it's just only a human thing. Obviously, there's constraints, but that happens to everyone. And I don't think it's something to be ashamed of. I think it's something to be like, all right, I'm going to get through this,
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. When I feel like I just can't get stuff done, I feel like, why can't I accomplish anything? I look at this bracelet on my wrist and it says, how can I? So the question I have to myself is, how can I accomplish this task that I set forth for myself? How can I? It's never too late. You can make a difference in other people's lives just by going for the gusto. Set yourself up a little plan and execute one thing after the other. But make sure those goals are realistic, because when they're realistic, that's when you're able to make things happen. That's my piece for today. Thank you for coming through, Between. I really do appreciate your time. Really cool interview. You're a dope artist, a dope producer. You're going to do big things in the industry, I have no doubt. Some advice I want to give you, though, as far as publication. I don't know if you're aware, there's certain places that I would recommend you to check out. BMI, check out Sound Exchange, and check out Song Trust. Reason why I say this, well, BMI, if your music ends up in the movies, which I believe it will soon, then BMI will pay you. They'll go grab your money for you. Sound Exchange, if you have your music, let's say, on digital radio, you have DJs that say, hey, man, I want to play your music on my channel. And then you let them play your music. Well, Sound Exchange go ahead and they grab your money for you. And Song Trust, well, let's just say you got DJs in, let's say, Russia that want to play your music because they dig the vibes. Song Trust goes out there and grabs your money for you in international waters. That's why Song Trust is something you should look into. Those are the publishing sites that I recommend, because it helps you become the owner of all your music and you're going to get paid long money. That's what publishing is about. It's long money. When you're in your 50s and you just feel like sipping a pina colada on your private yacht, on your private island, it's because you have publishing of your music. Those are the tidbits that I have for you. I really want you to look into that, because you want to protect your rights. You want to protect your property, because your music is your property. Register your songs to copyright. All you have to do is send to libraryofcongress.gov. It's only $35 for 8 songs. It's not a bad deal. And so now they send you a certificate. Certificate comes in the mail, has your name on it. It says you registered to copyright the song, whatever the song would be. It has a number on it. Well, I want to say thank you for coming through, man. I do appreciate your time. It's really amazing that you did. So let me speak to America. Hey, America, I am C. Andrew Love. This is Let's Chat and Jam. And my guest is the brother named Between. This brother's 15, started making music at 11. Wow. And he's so dope with it. Just imagine where he's going to be when he hits 21. Oh my God. You see how Chris Brown is the way he is today? That's going to be between when he gets to be that age. He's going to accomplish so many things in the industry. He's going to crush so many milestones and break so many ceilings. I have so much belief that Between is going to make things happen in the street. He's going to change the game. Oh, man, that means time is run out on the show, which is always what happens when you start to have fun. But I want to say thank you. And since you've been on my show for the first time, you have now become part of the Let's Chat and Jam fam. Which means whenever you want to come through Between, all you have to do is hit me up and say, Drew, let me on the show. I need to talk. And I'll say, deal. Thank you for coming through. Be safe out there where you're at. And everybody else, be safe. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Social distance. Peace out.
Peace out, everyone.
Hey, thanks for watching. And if you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button. And also tap that notification bell right there so that way you won't miss an episode of A Conversation with series right here on Let's Chat and Jam.